Hello, thank you for viewing this video. I'm going to go over the source code of the game. In main camera you can see starting resolution. Starting resolution will set the resolution of the game and start. We'll go back into Unity. Main menu canvas has got a main menu canvas script. This has been written by me. This is how it looks like. These are the references for all the variables, and we have got start the game function over here. We've got start button routine. This is for that cool animation that you see of the button expanding and contracting. This is for that. We have a load scene statement over here. We've got handle audio sprite over here. This is to make sure that the correct sprite is shown for the audio button. So if the audio is off, it'll show a cross. If the audio is on, then it'll just show the audio button. Then we also have handle audio on and off, which is going to handle whether the audio should be on or off. So this is for that. And the start function, we are deleting all the previous player preferences, so no name is saved at start. And then we are also adding some listeners over here for the button events. We'll go back to Unity. Then we've got add initialization. This script is for initializing the ads. This is the general audio handler, which is going to handle all the audio for your game. Over here we've got references and functions for all the clips, and we're going to fire up an event which is going to load the correct clip for the correct scene. We also have this function which is going to crossfade the audio, so you see that crossfade that happens during scene transitions. This is the function that runs. Then we set up instance over here, and we set it to don't destroy on load, so this instance remains consistent on all scenes. We've got on disable, on enable here for registering the on level load events. Then we've got awake over here and start over here. We'll go to the scenes. Please note that scenes is outside in the assets. Here are scenes, and we're going to go to single player scene. In the single player screen, we've got main camera over here. We've got camera navigation. I'll double click camera navigation. This is a large script, so let's go over it slowly. Unity functions are the standard Unity functions. We've got input functions over here to get the mouse input, scroll wheel, so you can test the game on the editor. We've got zoom related functions. Is zooming, when it's true, tells the game that the player is zooming. We've got zoom camera over here, which is going to zoom the camera based on the zoom delta, which is set when this function is called. We've got zoom camera mobile. In zoom camera mobile, we're taking 2 touches, and based on the distance of the touch, we either zoom in or out. We've got m allow mouse movement over here, which is going to m allow mouse movement is a variable which turns true when the input count or input touch count is 0. So when the player is not touching the screen with 2 fingers, then this statement is going to run to make sure that we can use the camera to navigate around the map. These are some of the variables to make the mouse movement run. Do mouse movement is over here. We've got mouse button up and mouse button down events. These are variables that control the state of the movement. We've got enable mouse movement if statement over here, which is going to start applying the movement based on the touch of the player. And then we've also got these 2 if statements to make sure that we know whether the camera is moving or not, because we don't want to do anything else when the camera is moving. We've got a small move vector scale, which is going to which fulfilled your requirement of the sensitivity. You stated that the touch wasn't sensitive enough, so this was the solution for that. Then we've got clamp values here to make sure that the camera does not go out of bounds. Go back to Unity. Over here we've got single player names. This is a script to get the single player names. So these are the functions to get the input. So we've got 2 cases. One is for the first player name. The second is for the second player name, and when we get the second player name, we also need to tell the game that you are on the map. So this statement is for that. These statements are for that. We've also got shrink container, which is basically that animation that plays and shrinks the container. And these are some references to the game objects, and this is start function again over here. In the gameplay canvas, these are a bunch of references to other game objects and various functions. I'll just expand all of these and we'll go through them steadily. Okay. go up. Info text functions are for the info text that you see on the screen, which tell the player what to do. We are setting the info text over here. This is called by various functions to display information. We've got player population selection handling over here. These are statements, these are variables for the population selection. We set the name of the city using this variable. We've got activate selection panel, which is going to activate the selection panel so players can input what their guess is. These are statements for that. We've got back button clicked, so when the city is selected we have a back button, so if the player has selected the incorrect city they can go back. We've got the back button routine over here, so the game waits for a while before disabling everything. Then we've got player input functions, and the player input functions are going to be for the input. So we take input from the first player over here and we run an if check to make sure that we insert commas wherever required. This is the same for player input 2, so this is for the comma requirement that was required by you. Then we've got commit guesses text, which is going to run the commit functions for the text that has been entered by both players, and we switch based on which character has the closest guess. So this is how we switch. Then we have got the general audio handler over here. The instance is going to play clip 15, which is a clip given by you. You're going to run this function to check which player has won. So we return 1 if player 1 has won, and if we return player 2 it means that player 2 has won. And that's the source code. That's the end of the game. So I'll just play the game quickly to show you how it functions. So before we are going to run the game, there will be an animation that will run. That's done in the editor, so you won't see that in the source code. That is an editor function. So it's going to take a while to get to the play state. So once it does get over here, we're just going to turn the audio off for the purpose of this demonstration. I'll hit start, and now this is going to be this cool animation. We'll go over here, we'll hit Jack, and we can say Iron, I do not know. So let's just choose a city. So you can see this is the info text I was talking about. We can choose a city like that, and if you zoom in enough, and then the comma functions will run, and the player that is closest to the guess, to the actual population, will win. So Iron has the closest guess because the population of Pierre is 13,980, and that's it. That's the entire game. Thank you very much.